All right, we want to make sure from the date of loss minus deductibles till that building is CO'd and has residents back in that you are compensated fairly for your loss of business rental income during that period. One of our services is claims consulting, right? And that's such a broad term. Someone says claims consulting. What does that mean? Well, yeah, the apartment building can burn down. A jet runs into the side of a hangar. Something runs into a jet. Our two main segments are multifamily and aviation, right? Commercial real estate. So today, I briefly want to talk about claims analysis and more specifically, a very big growing segment, 2 new clients this week on the business income analysis of a claim. So we're going to use a property claim as an example, right? So apartment property claim, we have a building fire, and it could be a fire, it could be a hurricane. We're just going to use a fire as an example, right? So the property damage is the actual building that was burned. It was damaged, right? So building burns down, we got to pay to rebuild it, right? The insurance company pays to rebuild it. That's property. The other side of that is loss of business income, loss of rents, business interruption, depending on what market segment you're in. But for this analysis, we're going to call BI, or business income. Every insurance company hires a level of professionals to check and balance along the claim. On our claims, we typically have an executive general adjuster, right? They're going to lead the team. But the insurance company, and most of these programs, we have many insurance companies, right? But they're going to require experts along the way. So there's going to be an expert on the property side to then review the adjuster's work to make sure it's correct. And then there's going to be an expert on the business income side to review the accounting to make sure that's correct, right? And for this analysis, we're talking about business income only. We'll talk more about the property side specifically, or the building side later. On the business income side, it's becoming very, very detailed in that the insurance companies are requiring forensic accountants to review and provide a package for final approval of business income proceeds. We provide a role to where we will do our own analysis and we will submit it, right? So we're doing our own forensic analysis on our side to help the forensic accountants for the insurance company, right? So we want to help both sides, right? But we also want to help the client. And the clients are sometimes going into this just blindly, not understanding what they can or can't provide, what they should or shouldn't provide. I had an asset manager last week that provided a Dropbox full of statements they thought they were helping, right, on a one building fire. Well, the difficult part in that is that in some of these reviews and some of these accounting firms, they might then at that point feel a duty to review all of these documents. And that sometimes can raise more questions and create gray areas or unknowns that they feel like they have to go after because they want to do their best job. But what we will do is we will create our own analysis. We'll create our own backup documentation to make sure it backs up our calculations. You have a 250 unit apartment community. You know, if you're running 90% occupancy and you have a loss, that doesn't mean that you should just get 90% of the loss, right? We have different floor plans. We have different seasonal, whether it's a seasonal occupancy, right? Depending on the part of the country you're in. So those are all things that we take in consideration. And those are all valuable discussions to have, right? A lot of times if it's a forensic accountant that might not do a lot of multifamily. So it could be an education process. So what we do is we help the client by providing a package and putting our own package together. And a lot of times we'll help if it needs to be, we'll help explain our basis to the forensic accountant, right? And as long as we can explain our basis, they can explain their basis, and we can come to a cohesion. The goal is always to partner, right? So in the majority of our claims that we work on, that we represent our clients, we actually know a lot of the claims teams. Like we have a good history with whether it's the building consultants, whether it's the forensic accountants. But our goal here is not to be adversarial either. Our goal is to truly help, right? So we help both sides. We help our client, we'll be very clear about, is the insured, right? They are our clients. But we're also not battling and creating an adversarial environment. We truly want to partner. Like we understand there's a partnership with the insurance company. So many times it's welcomed by the forensic accountants, right? Especially after we do a couple, claims with them. They know they can trust our information, right? We're going to make their life easier. They're going to know they have what they need and they can move on, right? So our goal is to partner, to help preserve the relationship, to provide the information that's necessary for backup, and to ultimately give the clients the best results possible. So our goal, very simply, with the business income analysis, to make sure that our clients are properly compensated for while their building is under reconstruction. Right? We want to make sure from the date of loss minus deductibles till that building is CO'd and has residents back in that you are compensated fairly for your loss of business rental income during that period. Now, there's always intricacies. Multifamily will always throw curveballs. And this is a very sad example I'm about to give, but it's a very real example. We have a claim right now where someone, unfortunately, there was a death in the fire, and it caused a very valid delay. And the insurance company pushed back and initially asked why there was such a delay. Yes, typically it wouldn't take this long to rebuild a 12-unit apartment building, but because the building was down for a death investigation, it did. So it's just a matter of explaining why, right? Getting to the why, providing the explanation. And that's what we do. We help provide a package to where everything is documented, where it can be easily understood by both parties to always make sure that our client is properly compensated. Any of these claims are stressful for our clients, right? You have a building burned down, it's freaking stressful, man. I mean, you've got an apartment community and you've got the fire crews there and you're trying to get the residents out and then you're dealing with the aftermath. It is extremely stressful, from the on-site to the executives trying to figure out how we're going to rebuild this thing to making sure that the residents are okay. That is a stressful time. There's no denying it. But that's what we do every day, right? That's our job. That's what we help with. So, there's a huge human component to this business that I think people don't always see. One, we help not only our clients, and the residents and help to rebuild homes, help make sure that people are taken care of, and really help relieve the stress from the organization through these trying times.